So obviously you came through the TAC Cup system. Did you ever consider? Because I know your dad also played a bit of AFL footy, didn't he? As well, I was reading something the other day.
Yeah, he played at St Kilda and Fitzroy for about 10 to 15 years back in the 80s and 90s.
Gotcha. Yeah. So do you remember that, or are you too young?
I was too young, but Fox Footy have a few flashbacks that they show, and Dad has them all recorded on the TV and pretends that they've just randomly popped up as you walk past. And he's got his head on there quite a bit. He was really, really small. He wasn't much taller than me, so I think he's pretty well known in the AFL world for being about 167 centimeters and playing at the top league. So he did pretty well.
I think he would almost be one of the smallest players to ever play, because I know there was a guy at West Coast, I think it was 165 6 or 7 years ago, who played and was considered one of the smallest players ever. So he'd be pretty close, I reckon.
I think he was top 5. Yeah,
top 5.
So,
so obviously you came through the TAC Cup system. Did you ever consider trying to go pro? And did you ever get some recruiters that ever looked at you or talked to you or anything?
I had a couple of little nibbles around in my under 17 year when I played a bit of Metro. Played some state footy, and there were a few little half options thereabouts. And I'm not sure. I'm not exactly sure what happened. I think I wasn't ever blessed with the right body to play footy, so I used to get bashed around a little bit and had some serious niggles. And then cricket came knocking. It just seemed like a better option over the long run to go down that path. So whilst I like to joke and tell my mates I would have played AFL, I don't really know what would have happened there. But it was actually a funny story when I was playing for the CA11 when they brought in the junior team to the one-day format, probably 5 years ago. I was playing against Tasmania at North Sydney, and I was mic'd up because we're all young and no one had any idea how to do the microphone, so they just gave it to me. And they were asking me questions. Greg Chappell was asking me what it was like to play 2 seasons at the GWS Giants. So for some reason, he thought that I played with the Giants. I don't know where he got it from, but I just sort of went along with it for a bit. And then it was in the papers, and everyone just assumed that I played AFL football. So there's a few articles out there going on about my time with Alex Carey and him and I sort of made the swap over from GWS. But I did not play 1 second with him, but it was good. I'll keep rolling with it as long as people want to keep going.
So what was your experience with Israel Folau like?
He was a good bloke. But it's pretty strange what some people hear and then they tend to believe. So
speaking of crossovers, Alex Keith, he came from your system, didn't he? The old Vic system, and now he's playing at the Dog. So
I played all my junior cricket with Keithy at Melbourne Cricket Club, and he went to Melbourne Grammar as well, and he was a pretty talented footballer, but he just loved cricket. And I think Victoria picked him up at a really young age. They signed him on a pretty long deal. But then
he was
his transition,
a great prospect.
Absolutely. Well, I think he did some things in cricket that were pretty special as well. But now his transition from when he left cricket to footy was just so quick and so easy that it gives people like me a bit of hope. If the next couple of seasons don't work out, I might just lace the boots up again. But Keithy's doing really well.
Well, I'm a D's fan, man, and we need some small forwards. He'd perfectly fit the bill.
I reckon you need a few more things in some small forwards, but who knows? It might have been a good break for the D's, just getting away from footy for a while and freshening up. So
you wouldn't have to move around much. You just move to Amy Park and be playing on the same stadium.
Exactly right, mate. It'd be so easy. Familiarised with all the areas, so it'd be sweet.
So do you still ever ponder some days about lacing the boots up and giving it another go, or are you pretty content with the decision you made?
No, I'm content now. I coach Caulfield Grammar in the VAFA, just in the amateurs. And last pre-season, I joined in on a training drill and ruptured 3 ligaments in my ankle, which put me out for about 6 months. So I don't think I'll be going back to footy anytime soon, or I don't think Cricket Victoria will let me go anywhere near football for the remainder of my contract. So I'm happy with cricket for the next couple of years.
Gotcha. So you guys are fully employed athletes on like a contract, for a couple of years, obviously. Is that the case, or?
Yeah. So you sign different contracts with Victoria and with the Stars. So Big Bash and State Cricket are separate, but it tends to be very similar to footy. If you're having a good couple of years, they tend to sign you on a few year deal. If you get into the end of your contract, they might just do the old 1 year sort of contract setup. But yeah, it's pretty basic. You get your couple of months off a year and you're signed full time.
Gotcha. Yep. So, so obviously, are you contracted for the Stars for next year? If you don't mind me asking.
Yeah, I signed a 4-year deal about
Oh
two
well.
years ago. So just got the list manager when he was at a vulnerable point by the sounds of it. But yeah, no, I'm locked in there for a couple of years, which would be good. We've got a really good list, and we just can't seem to get over that final hurdle. But I'd much rather be putting my hand up and competing in a final every year than falling over before that stage. So yeah, we'll hopefully learn from what we've been doing wrong in the previous years, and hopefully take a title out in the next two.
Yeah, I think the Melbourne Stars as a franchise are very underrated. I think you've pretty much got the best regular season record of all time in the competition, and I don't think the franchise get enough credit for the turnaround that happened from the 17-18 season, which I think we only won 2 games and pretty much got belted a lot, to the 18-19 season where we came so close to winning that title. And what was it like being part of that shift? Because I think you were part of both seasons, weren't you? It must have been was it a massive change, or just some basic things that changed up quickly, like, I don't know, tactics or?
Yeah, I don't think there was much. I think cricket's a really strange game in the sense that you can be playing well and you can still be losing, and then vice versa, you can be not playing not so well and be winning games. So I think we just went through that stage where we said 2020 cricket's so different. We just need to try and be as consistent as we possibly can, and whether that means we're winning or losing, it doesn't really matter as long as we can keep sort of justifying why we're doing things, and just give the fans a consistent standard of cricket. I think that's what we probably weren't doing in that earlier stage. So if you do look at the last probably 20 to 30 games of Melbourne Stars have been elite. I wouldn't imagine there'd be too many 2020 sides that have been as successful, regardless of titles, over that sort of length of a time period. And yeah, I don't think it's anything specific. I think we just enjoy each other's company. We've obviously got some guys that are serious match winners and they put their hand up at important times, but I think it's more just that creating an environment where you enjoy each other's success, you have a lot of fun, whether you win or lose, you're still having a great time, and feel really blessed to be a part of a good team. So yeah, I think that's been the only difference. We've had some good coaches. Huss is a great coach, and Stephen Fleming before that was a great coach as well. So yeah, to pinpoint one thing would be too hard, but I think it's just enjoying each other's company and having a good time when you're out there.
Yeah, speaking of Hussey, what's he like as a coach? Because I've heard he was pretty much my favourite batsman growing up, and always felt he was very unlucky to never get that call up for the Test squad. But he had a pretty good limited overs career for Australia. But yeah, what's he like as a coach? Relaxed, upbeat, or?
Yeah, no, he's a great. I love him. I reckon he's a great coach. He's one of the types of coaches that he has so much knowledge himself, and things are very easy for him when he looks at batters. He probably can't understand why they can't hit the ball here and can't hit the ball there, because he did it so easily when he was playing. But he never ever forces anything on someone. He never tells you completely how to do something. He'll give you little tips and bits of advice, but ultimately he wants you to figure things out for yourself and make you a better player in that sense. And in terms of coaches willing to facilitate in nets and that sort of stuff, he's one of the best. He'd be out in the nets flinging balls for hours on hot days. Whether he'd be hungover after a big grand opening the night before, he'd be there front and center and just be doing everything for you. So I think that's another reason why teams do well. When you have your coach committing so much to the cause,
Yeah.
it helps quite a bit.
Yeah, so so obviously the Big Bash season's only a couple of months away. Oh, well, about 6 months away. Has the possibility of playing a crowdless season come into your head, or you don't know yet? So because it's going to be interesting with everything going on.
Yeah, well, I've been playing crowdless matches for Shield cricket for the last 5 years, so I don't think it'll be too much of a difference. But yeah, I actually reckon you might see a different standard. I think having no crowds there might see some blokes really come out of the shell and play some outrageous shots. But then again, that adrenaline rush you get from a packed stadium allows you to do some pretty special things as well. So I don't really mind what it is. Obviously, you'd rather be playing in front of fans, but if it means we can get out there and it can be televised and people can be watching live sport again and those sort of things, I think that's just something you cop on the chin and get on with.
Yeah, no, it's certainly going to be interesting, and I think it'll be really sad if they can't get crowds in there because that's pretty much been the leading factor in the Big Bash, just becoming the big entity it is now. Really, it's probably the leading summer sport competition in the country. So it'd be quite disappointing, but it's just going to come down to, I guess, if the curve can come down. So have they at Cricket Victoria, have they put practices in place for you guys? Are you guys allowed big training sessions or?
Yeah, there's going to be some things that we have to go in and talk through. But on June 1st, we've got a big meeting that they're going to try and explain all those different areas to us and let us know what we can and can't do. But by the sounds of it, it's still something that they're really unsure about, and they're waiting on advice from so many different people that even when it does come through, I think we're just going to have to be really careful about how we go about things and make sure we follow some pretty strict guidelines to get the season going again.
Gotcha. Yeah, it's just such a strange time, man. It's crazy. 3 months ago, if you said all this stuff would have happened, you would have laughed and said not a chance. But it's the world we live in, I guess.
Exactly right. I know it's been pretty boring, but I think it just goes to show it was a pretty tough period, and people knuckled down and did the right thing. And it looks like we're starting to see some rewards from some pretty hard work, and hopefully, hopefully we can just get back out into normal living and start enjoying life again.
What's been the biggest thing you've missed during this whole period?
Oh, I reckon just catching up with mates, just like going to footy training on Tuesday or Thursday night, and just having a beer after selection on Thursday, and sitting
Yeah.
down and having dinner with everyone. Just that social aspect. Pretty sick of seeing the same faces in my life over and over again. I reckon I'm going to kill my old man pretty soon if he keeps going the way he's going. But yeah, no, I caught up with a few mates on the weekend with this new 10 people rule or whatever they've got going on for exercise. And
Yeah.
yeah, no, it was just good to get out there and talk a bit of shit with your mates. And
Yeah.
yeah, that was good.
So, what are some of your favourite moments part of being a part of the Melbourne Stars and Victoria so far of your career?
I reckon Victoria just winning two shields, one in Alice Springs and one at the Junction, would be the big highlights. I think
Yeah.
there's nothing quite like Shield cricket and winning that filing. It's the toughest cricket. It challenges you physically, mentally, and I think it often requires the best team to win it as well. So to do that twice was pretty special. And in terms of Big Bash, I think just getting out in the ground, it's a different type of cricket. The pressure can be so high sometimes with the TV and with the fans and everything like that. And you get thrown in the deep end pretty quickly. But I think it's opportunities like that that allow you to see what you can do and what you can offer. And yeah, there's been a couple of times throughout my career with 2020 that I've been really proud of how I've gone about my business, whether it be making runs or taking some wickets behind the stumps. Yeah, I think it's just given me a good platform to express who I am and have a bit of fun along the way.